Good afternoon and welcome back to the 120th. Today we are talking about dry plate tintypes again. Dry plate tintypes, take two. I didn't really do a very good job of it last time. I got terrible results, they were overexposed, and I never really took the time to get it right. So today I've got more plates and we're going to go again. And we're going to keep going until we get it right. I really want to be supporting people that are innovating and coming up with new ideas in the film photography and analog photography world. And I didn't really do Nedge any favours by showing off his Zebra Dry Plates and making a meal of it like I did last time. So let's take out the new dry plates and try again. All right, see you out there. Right then, I've decided on a slightly more controllable scene this time around. Controllable scene, but not controllable participants, because I'm going to use my two daughters. Try and get them to sit still for this. Right. Okay, we're all set up. I was going to use the Emil Bush A-plane out again, but in the interest of just trying to get an exposure that I can control, I've got the Schneider 210 because I can control the shutter speed and the aperture and all the rest of it, and there's no questions over its accuracy. Right, you're going to sit there. Now this is one of those ones where I need you to be a complete statue. Can you do that? It's not flashy, no. Oh, it's windy as well. Huh? I know it's cold, Emmy. You sure you don't want to get something for your shoulders? Looking at the lens here. Okay, ready? Dark slide out, here it comes. Sitting stock still, statues, don't move. Okay, good job, relax. At the lens, and you're gonna keep super stock still. Ready? Good job. So now I'm gonna get in a bit closer. All right, I'll get in and do a close up. You okay? Right. Okay, here it comes. Looking straight at the lens. Thank you. Put your head in. You see that?
Yes, it's upside down.
I know it is. It's upside down and back to front. This one goes like that to set it, and then we're going to push this bit here. Okay? Okay, do you want to try it? Try pushing that. That's it. You got it? Right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
There you go. You did it. Well done, my love. Well done. Okay, we're out in the darkroom, and I've got everything set up. So we've got a developer here, stop bath, developer to go in, fixer, got the glass plates there. Let's knock the lights off and see what we've got. And in it goes. So that has been through the stages. It's currently in the wash, and it is not looking promising. Not even really seeing an image here. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that was me. I would say that is wildly underexposed. God knows why I can't get this right. Right then, I'll finish washing that and let's move on to the next one. Right then, lights back on. Another plate done. Let's see what came out. It's very dark again. Damn. I think by this stage I'd gone down to half a second, hadn't I? The next one that I do should be double the duration, I think. Okay, on to the next one. This does not look promising either. I'll save you the pain of watching the rest of this development process. Suffice it to say, the shoot with the kids was a total loss, all really badly underexposed. Right then, well, that was a disaster with the girls, so now I'm going to try and photograph myself in a similar situation. I'm going to use the Schneider 210. I need a lens with a shutter. Don't think I'd be able to do a kind of a self-portrait if I didn't have a shutter. This is my handy dandy focusing aid. So now I will focus on this card, and I will then place my face in exactly the same position. All right, That is ready. So like meter is saying 1 second, 1.3 seconds. That's for ISO 4, so we need 2 seconds, 2.5. So let's go, I'm gonna give it a bit more because it's not a bright day. Getting into October, all this UV business. So let's go with, I've got 2 plates. Let's do 1 at 3 seconds, and 1 at 4 seconds. I've got the bulb cable release. Great, that works. Right then, plate number 1, 3 seconds. Okay. Three seconds. Okay, that's 1. There is my distance. Let's move that out of the way. 5 seconds. Blinked in the middle of that. And let's take those into the darkroom and see how we go on this time. Right then, I'm all set up. I've got my HC110 with ammonium thiocyanate plate washer, and I've got my Forster photographic platypus. It's an awesome thing that Simon has designed. So it's a plate slash sheet film 4x5 drying rack. How cool. Platypus from Forster photographic. Right then, we're ready to go. So let's go dark and begin. In it goes. Not sure. Into the wash. Genuinely don't know what to make of this one. It looks overexposed. Anyway, let's get that in the wash, let it run for a little bit longer, and then we'll take it out of the wash and put in the platypus. Right, this one's ready to come out. I've put up another light briefly just so you can see this platypus in action. So we're going to slide this in here. There we go, and then dip it, and then it all drains off the corner there. How clever is that? Yeah. On to the next. In it goes. Genuinely can't see anything on this. Let's chuck it into the wash. Okay, I mean this definitely looks better exposed. Still long, I would say, still overexposed. Better. I think potentially that is as good as this is going to get. Pop it into the platypus. 1, 2. There we go. And leave that to dry. Pretty chuffed with my platypus. It's a good bit of kit. Maybe have one last go tomorrow. We shall see. That second one wasn't too bad, but there's still nothing to be proud of, so I'm going to give it one more shoot. One last chance for this process. So we've got a light here, a chair there, and the camera here. For the last one, I used my Schneider 210 because it's got a shutter on it and therefore it's repeatable. I don't really want to do that, so here's the plan this time. So we got the 8.5 inch f4.5 Dallmeyer. I'm going to load under safe lights over there. Then I'm going to, still under safe lights, I'm going to put the plate holder in the camera. I've got this exact distance measured from my eyeball to the camera. So we're going to get that fixed. Then I'm going to flick this switch to turn on the lights. Okay, so that's obviously going to blind me. And then I've got everything set up. I'm going to shoot one by one. I'm going to develop that plate straight away. And we're going to keep going until we get it right. That's tonight. That's what we're doing. Damn it, I will get this right. That is actually going to be, it's an interesting problem that I'm going to have there, is not squinting. I'm just trying harder to take the pain. Okay. I just did a meter reading under those lights and it said 1.5 seconds at ISO 2. Now all the instructions say that indoor lights don't put out as much UV as when you're outside. Of course that's true. So I'm probably going to give it 3 seconds, I think, for this first one. And we'll take it from there. We're wide open at 4.5. Put you there where you can see what's happening. Plate holder in. Dark slide out. Find the light switch. Okay, got my finger on the switch. This is level with the lens board. And we're going to go 3 seconds. Here we go. Wow, I was not very good at not reacting to the light. Squinted. Okay, so we're going to have to figure that one out. In it goes, into the developer. Right then, that's done in the fixer. Let's take it out the fixer. We have an image. It is overexposed. So the good news is, I think this is going to be pretty cool if I get it right. Let's get loaded again and let's go again. So we're going to go with 1.5 seconds this time. Here it comes. Oh, how long was that for? Wow, I'm blind. Okay, let's get the dark slide back in. Pile straight on the developer, I'll turn you off. You don't need to see this. I'll turn you back on again once we're coming out the other side. Right then, this one is ready to come out of the fixer, into the wash. Into the wash. Oh, we might have a good one, you know. Let's have a look. Oh, pretty good though. I think there's a bit of blurring because well, my whole face is like. All in all, pretty good, I would say. All right, now let's leave that in the wash. Load another plate. So we stick with the same exposure, which was about 1 second and a bit, as long as I could handle it with my eyes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, let's see how we got on. Oh, obviously moved quite a lot. It's quite interesting. I must have done a bit of side-to-side movement on this one. Listen, I am very content with the previous one though, so we're going to call it quits there for the night. I am very happy that I've finally managed to get a decent image out of one of these things, and it is quite good when you've when you get it right. Actually, take it all back. Right then, I will speak to you tomorrow. Well, what did we think of all that, eh? Here are the plates from that last session. This is the one that I really like. And it looks pretty good. I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know if I would necessarily put it on in a frame or anything. Obviously it was quite difficult what I was trying to do, not least because of the dry plates. I don't know if it quite came across in the video there, but when I switched those lights on, having been in the dark and they full pelt those lights right in my face, it's actually pretty painful. And I'm sure it's not very good for your eyes. I mean, you know, we use flash all the time. Flash is an interesting question. Could I go there? Could I try some flash photography? I was kind of under the impression that you know, indoor lights wouldn't really work with this, but they obviously do, and you can see from the initial attempt that was really overexposed. So it's not like they're ineffective at exposing the plates. They do a good job. So one would assume that flash will work. And maybe I'll go there next. Maybe I'll give that a go. Something really interesting to note. So this was the round 2 attempt. Now the exposure on that was not too bad. It is a little overexposed on my face. I think something really interesting to note here, and the big difference between this plate and this plate, is the range of exposure values that are present in the frame. And therefore the kind of latitude of this specific emulsion and this specific type of photography. And I think one thing that we can say with some certainty is that it definitely works better on flatter images. So the tones that come out here are quite nice, and it gives you a really interesting, I mean, it would have been incredible if I'd managed to keep my face still. It gives you a really interesting image to look at, and it depicts that range of tones quite well. But it is a narrow range of tones in this image. The difference between the most exposed part and the least exposed part of my face, at least, is not huge. Whereas on this one, the difference in exposure values between, let's say, my face and my jumper and this bright wall behind and this dark wall over here, there's a much larger range, and this process doesn't handle it very well. So I think, you know, as with a lens or a camera or anything that you're going to do, knowing the limitations of the process that you're using and the equipment that you're using, asking the equipment to do things that it's not really capable of or wasn't really designed for. These are all things you have to take into account when you're planning your photography. Also, something worth talking about here, you can't really see that one, that's the very underexposed image of my daughter's. Very, very blue in contrast to, I mean, I don't know if you can really see the difference in hue there. Now, one of the things the instructions do say on these dry plates is that if you put in too much thiocyanate, you may have this kind of effect, that it may start to change the hue of the image and take it away from that lovely kind of sepia toned into the kind of greeny blues, which is what we found here. I suspect as well that the other difference between this one and this one is that this one was developed very cold and for longer. Now, if you were just developing normally, all you would do is extend the development time to compensate for the colder temperature of the developer. However, I suspect that the thiocyanate and the developer are affected slightly differently by temperature, because I don't think I put that much thiocyanate into this one. It wasn't significantly different from the other times I developed these plates, but the difference in color is enormous. And so the only other variable that was introduced there, it's underexposed, and therefore maybe it deposits more thiocyanate on top of less silver nitrate, and that gives a different hue. Alternatively, it may be that the thiocyanate reacts at the colder temperatures better than the developer, and therefore that adjustment in developing time to compensate for the colder temperatures actually caused the thiocyanate to work harder. So it had the same effect as putting more thiocyanate into the mix. Don't know. One thing I will say is that these are fascinating and they're good fun. There is scope for experimentation. They are new. There are all sorts of kind of elements of this that are not tested. I got in touch with Nate from Zebra Dry Plates, and we do pronounce his name Nate. He has confirmed that for me now. So apologies, Nate, for calling you Nedge in the last few videos. Nate, unfortunately, he's got COVID at the moment. I was going to try and do a Zoom chat with him, but he's got COVID. He's not well. That I will definitely do a separate video on Zebra Dry Plates in a future video. But one thing I do know from talking to Nate is that this is a fairly new process, and it's the result of some experimentation, I think, by a guy called Lee Lira, and there are unknowns about this process. In fact, only a couple of days ago, Nate put out a new technical list for developers and development times, quantities of developer, concentrations of developer. So this is a growing process within analog photography, and I love being part of that. I love that I might be doing things that no one's tried before. Or certainly doing things slightly differently, and that my results and what I'm doing, despite my clear cack-handedness, may be of interest to other people. Who knows? Anyway, one of the big things that came out of this whole process, I mentioned it in the last video, was that I've never really seen a wet plate collodion plate in the flesh. And so, you know, whilst I've enjoyed this process, I like this image. How does it compare to real-life wet plate collodion? I've made contact with Guy Bellingham, Fellow of the Royal Photographic Society, who is a very accomplished wet plate collodion photographer. And he has agreed to have me in his studio, do some portraits of me, and take me through the process. Show me how he does it, show me what he does, talk me through how it all works. So that should be fascinating. That coming up in the next couple of videos. However, the next one that will be out on the channel will be the Alfie Titch. I have had that out for a few rolls and been really enjoying using that, and I am ready to show you how I've been getting on. Alfie Titch next, then we've got black and white reversals, Guy Bellingham, One Lens Wednesdays coming up. I'll tell you more about that another time. Loads of stuff in our future, loads of stuff that is in the pipeline. So if you're not currently subscribed, please do subscribe. Thanks a lot for joining me on this journey. Apologies for screwing up the tintypes last time. Hope you enjoyed the results this time. That's it for today. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.